Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Erneke Shakina. Welcome back to my channel. Today, I'm going to retell a heartwarming yet emotional novel called The Second Wife by Angela Arby. This story is not just about marriage after divorce, but also about forgiveness, family, second change, and learning to let go of the past. If you enjoy emotional family dramas with meaningful life lessons, stay until the end because this story has a touching ending. So, we begin. The story centers on Felicity, an independent woman who falls in love with Dr. Tony Hughes, widower or at least a man whose first marriage has ended. Tony was previously married to Samantha, and together they have 4 children: Philip, Peter, Hillary, and also Annabelle. When Felicity marries Tony, she doesn't just marry a man, she also becomes part of a complicated family. Being a second wife is not easy. Felicity constantly compares herself to Samantha. Even though Samantha has moved away to America, her presence still lingers in the family. The children still love their mother. People in the village still remember Samantha. And sometimes Felicity feels like she is living in someone else's place. At first, these insecurities make Felicity question herself. Can she ever become a real mother to Tony's children? Can she truly replace the woman who came before her? Throughout the novel, we watch Felicity slowly learn that she doesn't need to replace Samantha. Instead, she only needs to become the best version of herself. Little by little, the children begin accepting her. She cooks for them, listens to them, supports them, and patiently earns their trust. Eventually, the children stop seeing her as a dead new wife and begin seeing her as a part of the family. One of the most touching moments happens when a noble letter tells Felicity, "I'm glad I've got you for a mother." That single sentence shows just how much Felicity has grown into her role. Meanwhile, Samantha has started completely new life in California. She hopes to rebuild her future with a man named Pierce. Although she left her family behind, she still promises her children that they can visit her in America during Christmas. The children become excited. They spend months imagining the trip, collecting American stamps, talking about California, and also counting the days until Christmas. Everything seems hopeful, but as Christmas approaches, something unexpected happens. One afternoon, Felicity receives a letter from Samantha. Everyone assumes the letter contains travel details. Instead, it contains heartbreaking news. Samantha writes that the Christmas trip has been cancelled. Pierce has left her for someone else. She has moved into a smaller apartment, is struggling financially, and cannot afford to bring the children to America anymore. Naturally, the children are devastated. Philip tries to act out, pretending America is not important anymore. Peter worries more about his mother's loneliness than about the cancelled holiday. Hillary quietly hides her disappointment. Annabelle tries to comfort everyone. Seeing their reactions breaks Felicity's heart. Even Tony becomes frustrated. He believes Samantha should have told the children much earlier instead of waiting until the last minute. Although everyone feels disappointed, no one yet realized that this letter tells only half of the story. And then, the next day, Felicity keeps thinking about Samantha. Something doesn't feel right. Her friend Tracy even jokes that perhaps Pierce left Samantha for another man. At first, everyone laughs, but curiosity eventually convinces Felicity to tell Samantha in America. That phone call completely changed the entire novel. Okay. During their conversation, Samantha calmly reveals the truth. She is not simply dealing with a broken relationship, but she has acute myeloid leukemia and aggressive from a blood cancer. She has already undergone chemotherapy, but unfortunately, the treatment has failed. The doctors tell her she only has a short period of remission before the illness returns. Suddenly, everything makes sense. The canceled trip, the financial problems, the silence, the exhaustion, the loneliness. Samantha explains that nearly all her money, including the money she inherited after selling Vanitia's house, has been spent on medical treatment because her insurance would not cover the costs. She admits she simply doesn't have enough strength or money to look after the children anymore. For the first time, Felicity no longer sees Samantha as her rival. Instead, she sees a frightened woman facing death completely alone. And then Samantha asks one final favor. She says she wants to come back to England. Not permanently, not to take Tony back, not to interfere with anyone's marriage. She only wants one last Christmas with her children before she dies. It is probably the hardest request Felicity has ever received. After all, Samantha is Tony's first wife. Inviting her into their family home will reopen old ones. Many people would refuse. Many people would feel jealous or insecure, but Felicity doesn't.
Wow.
Instead, she immediately thinks about what Samantha needs, not about what she herself feels. After discussing everything with Tony, she decides to welcome Samantha into cherry trees for Christmas. Some people disagree. Felicity's mother thinks the idea is completely ridiculous. Tracy jokes that having both wives under one roof will become the biggest gossip in town. But Felicity remains calm. She explains that Christmas is supposed to be about peace, forgiveness, generosity, and kindness. If Samantha's final wish is to spend Christmas with her children, then she deserves the change. And then, at this point, Felicity realized something important. Being Tony's second wife doesn't mean competing with Samantha anymore. The past will always exist. Samantha will always be part of the family's history because she is the children's mother. But that doesn't weaken Felicity's marriage. Instead, it teaches her that love is not about replacing someone else. It's about accepting the whole family, including its history. By letting go of jealousy, Felicity finally becomes completely secure in her role as a Tony wife.
Wow.
She understands that kindness is stronger than fear. Compassion is stronger than resentment, and forgiveness is stronger than pride. Okay, the novel ends on a deeply emotional note. Instead of focusing on romance, it focuses on humanity. Felicity chooses empathy over jealousy. Tony also supports both his current wife and the mother of his children. The children begin to understand how precious family truly is. Even Samantha, despite facing death, finds comfort knowing her children will be surrounded by love after she is gone. And then, in the end, no one really wins. Instead, everyone grows, everyone learns, and everyone discovers that family is not defined only by blood or marriage. Family is built through responsibility, sacrifice, forgiveness, and unconditional love. Personally, I think The Second Wife is much more than a romance novel. It is a story about emotional healing, It reminds us not to judge people too quickly because we never truly know the battles they are fighting. Most importantly, it teaches us that forgiveness doesn't erase the past, but it creates the possibility of a better future. And then, that's the story of The Second Wife by Angela Arney. If you enjoy this retelling, don't forget to like, comment, and also subscribe for more book reviews and story summaries. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.